Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Get to Know Us. Today it is with Evvy Shark. She's going to be coming on to talk about the album that she released with us last year, which was Miss Liza's Psychic Hotline. Tomorrow is actually the anniversary of that album, and we're going to be chatting about that. And then later on this evening, after this, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be having a listening party to listen to Evvy Shark's Miss Liza Psychic Hotline. And I actually also have an album out today called My Way, and we're also going to be listening to that as well tonight. So we'll be checking them both out back to back. That's on our Discord. If you want to join us there is a link in our link tree that's in our bio, and it's easy to join. We just recommend that you join our Discord before 7 p.m. because there is a little bit of information you have to read and do an introduction to be led into the part of the server where we have our listening party. So yeah, we're gonna bring on Evvy Shark, otherwise known as Cherry. As soon as I can figure out how to get her in here, if you're able, I saw you come in. If you're able to, let's see, try to do this quick. This is the part that's awkward because it's always like me trying to figure out how to invite somebody while I'm also chatting. Okay, cool. I think I see an invite. Wait, I thought All right, here we go. Hey!
Hello.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. I'm tired. I
Uh,
helped my neighbor move a bunch of stuff today.
oh, got a little exercise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was letting everybody know we're celebrating 1 year of Miss Liza Psychic Hotline as of tomorrow.
Woo.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess let's just get into it. I always
Cool.
love to ask people how they first got into music as a listener. Like a first song or album or whatever it is you want to like tell us about.
Well, I my family's was very like musical, so I've just been like always listening, always listening. But I used to listen to a lot of Christian music, because I could get away with it. Um, uh, the first like CD I bought that was really good was Demon Days by the Gorillas.
Oh
Uh
yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. Um yeah, my taste is Under Oath. Never listened to Under Oath. But I wanted to listen to Under Oath, but I didn't.
Okay.
Um
Yeah.
yeah, lots
Yeah,
of
okay.
yeah.
Um, yeah, was that like your first favorite band? Or
Gorilla.
yeah.
Mm, I don't think I wouldn't say it was my first favorite band. Um, I was really into Reliant K was a favorite band for a while when I was real young. Um, but well, maybe, yeah, maybe.
Okay,
Uh,
it's all right. Yeah, I'm making you stretch back and remember back.
yeah. Um,
So, so for you as like being making music and being a musician, like when did you start getting into like writing and recording your own music and how'd that come about?
um, I'd say maybe well, like seventh grade, I guess. I
Oh
used
wow.
to like jam with my friends, making the worst music, um, putting it up on MySpace.
Yes,
Uh,
MySpace.
woo. Yeah. But that kind of carried over. I was in like a couple bands in high school, but then after everybody in those bands were older than me, so after that, after they left, I started writing more like during college, and then I started using Audacity and the good old USB mic. Um, so it's just kind of gone from there. Um,
Yeah, that's really cool. So like when you would jam out in seventh grade, what were you all like playing and like as far as instruments and like I'm just curious like what were you aspiring to sound like?
I like literally, I don't even think we had aspirations. Like we were
Yeah.
just making noise essentially. I was playing the
Yeah.
drums. Um, my friend played the guitar. We called ourselves to shred a fish. Um, and you know, it was I think I might still have a CD.
Yeah.
But it's like it's horrible. It's not even like we made songs. It's just us yelling, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you said you put it on MySpace, is it floating in space somewhere that like
I I did look it up because you know they MySpace like got rid of the archive or whatever, or they like deleted music off, and then we're like, oh wait, never mind. Some
yeah,
music is
something
still.
weird happened. Yeah.
Mhm. Um, I feel like I remember recently trying to find it again, but I might have just been on my phone, and
Yeah.
it's not a very phone friendly website right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. And you said you started recording probably your own stuff in college, like you used Audacity. That's
hmm
great. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Audacity for the
Yeah.
well, Savon's give a shout out. Urshtar is it in here. Yeah, it's really great that there's programs like that that people can
hmm
get into it without having to pay for stuff.
Oh,
Um, yeah, yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about Miss Liza's psychic hotline.
absolutely.
Yeah, anything that you want to share? Because I know that it was like conceptually, it was like a collaboration, right,
Yeah.
with a friend, and just kind of like yeah, how your process for that and how it got recorded, and yeah, yeah,
Um. Yeah. So my friend Steve Beres, who makes music under the name Bluffs, um, had hit me up about doing like a split, um, where we'd send each other song titles, and then you know we'd have like a time limit to write a song for the song title. Um, and I was like real gung ho about it. Uh, so they sent me one. I feel like the first song I made, like one of the first titles they sent me was "Squeezed Like Grape," and I don't know. I just kind of like spent 4 hours just kind of doing stuff, and was like, all right, send me another, uh, and ended up doing most of the songs within like a couple months with a break. Um, but I was like doing one every day for a second there.
yeah,
Um, and it just kind of flowed out of me like that. Um, but Steve was like, I think I gave them like one song title, and they like sent me stuff back, and then they were like, oh, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling a little like not really musically inspired right now. Uh, but uh, yeah, so it was collaborative on that end. Um,
yeah, yeah. And I know you had additional songs that you didn't use on the final EP, and
Mm.
like I know we had released some as bonus and exclusive material. So
Mm.
I guess I'd be curious to know, like, how did you pare it down, or how did that come across? And of course, you have the visual album
Yeah.
that goes with it. So yeah,
Um, I'm not really sure. They kind of just excuse me, they kind of just kind of felt closer together in a way.
yeah, make it
Um,
flowed, right?
yeah. And like some of the songs I was like like the one is called Shint Your Mingus For I Monk Your Tungus, right? And it's like pretty funny song, but I was like, I don't really like this doesn't need to go in here. uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and some of them I was just kind of not feeling as gung ho on. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I at the end of it, I feel like the songs were the ones that made it onto. Uh,
Kitty.
yeah, that's me so yelling. Um, were the right ones, you know?
Yeah, and the visual album, like, how did that come about in terms of, like, was that like afterwards, or like while you were writing you had ideas, or did you like, how did that all fit together?
Yeah, they kind of came up at the same time, I guess, in a way. Um, I'm trying to think. I have a because I had posted some of the videos like on my Instagram pretty early on, um, and then had like taken them down. Um, but yeah, they kind of came together um as one. Um, and seeing well after the last. Hey pal.
Kitty has something to say.
I think he does. What? Oh, he's
Oh
hungry.
wow, where
Yeah.
is Kitty?
He's a little baby. Um, here. Say
Kitty's
hi.
like, I want attention.
Yeah.
Where are you? I love Kitty Cat. Oh, hello, hello, hello. It's Evvy Shark mascot.
Yeah. Good old Lisa. Yeah.
Misa. Yeah.
But
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off if you were going to say something.
no, it, well, I guess so. The song Miss Liza was the last one that I ended up writing. Um, and it was from there that I was like, this might be kind of a cool, make a little TV program kind of thing. Um, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about like all the influences, like musical and non-musical, because I know we were
sure.
talking a little bit about the old what do you call it? I don't what do we call those videos? Like the Psychic Network videos and
Yeah,
the yeah, Friends party whatever. Yeah,
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 party
yeah, yeah.
line. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
uh,
guess as far as musical influences, and then some of the influences behind like some of the concept of the album, and yeah.
sure. Well, I was listening to. I mean, it doesn't really come through in the sound necessarily, but I was listening to a lot of like um, Italo disco, um,
Okay.
which is really fun stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm trying to think, like disco in general.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
uh, just love disco. um, I can't really think of anything like super specific. Um, but yeah, definitely for the visual album, it was like, yeah, like the infomercials and all those uh party lines commercials from, like, the 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
uh Also, um just VHS in general. I have a pretty large, I mean, it's not as large as it used to be, decent sized collection of VHSs. Um, and all the like previews and stuff on there,
Yeah.
uh, especially like the older ones, are gold. You don't even really need to, uh, you don't even really need to see the movie to like know what it's about, kind of thing. Um,
Yeah. And
and
you in your videos that you made too for the you sort of tried to like replicate some of the look of the VHS and the those old, well, 80s 90s info, commercial things too, right?
Yeah, yeah. I had a small collection of like tape cameras, like VHS. I think I used my VHS camcorder, like the full size tape camcorder, and a VHS C, um, which is just like, you know, small VHS. Uh,
Oh, right, the little tapes that go into the recorder, and then you can. It's the same tape though that yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I'm trying to see. I feel like I have one laying around, but it might be. Oh yeah, gotta pull out the Sony V
Yeah,
VHC.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Um,
And actually, if you want to show us I know we talked about your setup and whatnot too. That would be really cool.
sure.
Oh,
I'll it
I
kind
love
of
that
changed.
lamp.
Oh yeah, thanks. I love this lamp so much.
I feel like I've seen that lamp in your promo pictures, right? Or yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
I take
yeah,
any chance I can to show off my lamps.
yeah.
um, it definitely, my setup has changed drastically from what it was when I made the album. Um,
Okay.
it was mostly just baby, yes, baby VHS. They're cool, but it was mostly just me on the floor. And now it's kind of a mess in here. But this is my spot. Um,
Yeah,
I'm,
very cool. And I've been seeing, like, we just recently followed each other on TikTok, so I was seeing like
yeah,
some of the weird electronic stuff you're doing with this. I was like, I don't know what the heck you're doing, but that's cool.
the circuit bending.
Yes, yes, the circuit
Yeah,
bending too.
circuit bending is fun. It's rad. It's
Yeah.
scary. I don't know what. It's just
Yeah, you were like you could get really hurt. I'm like, oh
yeah.
my. But yeah. Um yeah, but is this the same? I mean, have you used a lot of the same thing, like keyboards and whatnot we're seeing?
Yeah. Well, so I guess the things that remained the same were this boy and this boy. These things I got from Goodwill, like, over the past couple of years. I also used this Elisa's Micron on a lot of it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I think wild. Anyway, and if I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but speaking of circuit bending and equipment, I'm like under the table. Uh, this was a keyboard I also used on it, but
Yeah, is that a Casio? No.
it's a Yamaha
Oh,
PSR.
okay, okay.
Um, I tried circuit bending this and gave up on it because I'm terrible at soldering.
Oh,
Now it's hiding away. But I used that one a decent amount. Specifically on jumbo shrimp was.
okay. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and who can forget? Sorry, I gotta also show off
Yeah.
um, the Paper Jams auto tune
Oh.
box from Paper Jams. It's really bad, but it makes a nice feedback loop.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So I guess like more generally, if you wanted to talk a little bit about your biggest influences, again, musical or non-musical, like if you want to talk a little bit more about that kind of thing, um, even if it's not necessarily for this album.
Yeah. Definitely like early on was very into the band of Montreal.
Yeah.
They, I don't know, when I heard that was a kind of a pivotal musical moment for me. Um, uh, I've since kind of grown out, not grown out of them, but just kind of stopped keeping up. They weren't
Yeah.
really good for me for
Yeah,
a
me
while.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just so much. They have so much to dig through. It's like, I don't know, albums upon albums, which like good for them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. That's happened to me with quite a few different musicians. Just like after a while, sometimes it is hard to like keep up. You not necessarily that you grow out, but maybe you kind of like move on to like a different, yeah, a different sound or different band or different musician.
definitely. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah. There's so much music out there, so yeah.
I'm trying to think. That one's real big. I spent I spent an obnoxious amount of time listening to David Bowie. Um, when I was in college.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I've been really inspired by like film soundtracks.
Yeah, yeah. Talk a little bit about that. I know you had brought that up before with me, so yeah.
Yeah. The like the Donnie Darko soundtrack. Um, like original soundtrack and the like songs that they used was like Fave Bowie era.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Ishtar's asking your favorite.
Probably like, I don't know, Scary Monsters. Pretty good. I feel like that's the ones that's like is like, I'm a man now. I'm trying to get better. At least that's what it says to me. He's like, I can't keep breaking these rocks. You know. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
um.
Yeah.
But yeah. Donnie Darko soundtrack. Um. Italian horror movie soundtracks are amazing. Like you got the ones like Goblin in Suspiria, and Goblin they did a lot of soundtracks for movies. They were cool. Uh, Italian horror movies in general, just
Yeah. You mentioned the least is it no, is it Lucy and the Devil?
or Lisa and the Devil.
Lisa and the Devil. Yeah, I looked it up. I haven't watched it yet, but I was like, oh, this is definite. I saw like a little like clip or whatever. I was like, oh, this is definitely up my alley.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's a good one. It's kind of Yeah, like melodramatic. It's not super scary. Um,
Yeah, melodramatic. I love I love
yeah,
that stuff.
me too.
Like over the top.
hmm Yeah, it's just it's a good fun.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that was that 70s or yeah. There's a lot of really good stuff from that time period.
oh
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I love that whole era.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and what have you been listening to a lot right now?
Um, I've been listening to a lot of country music. Um,
Yeah.
a lot
Like
of
what are you what,
I like I like the classics, and I like the well, so I have this playlist called Truck Nuts Core for um it's kind of like a mood board for this project I'm working on with some friends called Truck Nuts. And
wait. What kind of project is this
it's
again?
we've been calling it joke punk
Okay.
because it's like really, I mean, it sounds like folk punk, but there's like some, it's very I mean, I guess it's probably in poor taste, but uh we
Like tongue
like,
in cheek. Tongue in cheek, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like comparing the like getting your heart broken to like the Twin Towers, getting really like, we have a song called Taco Bell and Liquor, and that's the only one we have uh been heard by the greater, well, not the greater, but you know, like more than just us pretty much. We have some other ones. uh,
I'm looking forward to hearing this. So the playlist is kind of like inspiration for this project.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think we were talking about, you said it has some country and like just some like god awful stuff on it, and then
Mhm.
like we were talking a little bit about our mutual love of Ween.
Yeah, yeah, it's got a lot of Ween on there. uh
Yeah, yeah. And what are some of your like? Tell me some of the Ween songs on there. Just
well, we drew a lot from uh for the playlist. A lot of the Ween stuff that's on there is from what, like 12 country hits, or
yeah,
12 country greats or whatever.
yes, yeah,
So we got like Piss
yeah.
Up
That
a River.
album is
Uh,
yes, that album's great.
it
It
really is.
really
I
is. It really is.
Yeah, yeah. I learned
And
that
poor taste when you're talking about poor taste and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
learned that they went to like a super famous like country studio, I guess in like, I
Oh
want to say
yeah, they've got
Nashville.
like studio these. They have really well-known studio country musicians on that album. Yeah,
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 apparently
they
some of
do.
them walked out, which
Oh,
was like,
yeah, you're right.
wow, like they really did it.
That's funny. I don't think I heard that part. Like that people actually were just like, "Fuck this." Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that though. I could see someone being like, just like you're being mocking, but I don't think they are. I mean, I think they
No.
genuinely love that shit at the same time. I mean, like if you listen to their catalog, you kind of know what you're
Yeah.
getting into. But like if you don't know what you're getting into and you show up, like you're
For
probably
sure.
yeah, yeah. That's
That
funny.
that album especially, it's just very unassuming. Like, I mean, the just called 12 country greats, and there's a guy on a horse on the front.
Yeah. And it
It,
doesn't have the number of songs it says it does. Like that's part of the
yeah.
joke. I forget how many tracks. I should know this, but I don't. And I even have listened to the hell out of that. But
I mean, it's not 12.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually sporting a Ween sweatshirt right now.
Nice.
It's like my go-to sweatshirt. Um, but like, but yeah, I'm usually like a closeted. I guess I'm usually a closeted Ween fan most of the time. But if somebody brings it up because they also like it, then I'll like it'll get me started.
Right.
But yeah, um, but yeah, well, moving, transitioning from that to Ween to like, well, listen, I didn't want to cut off about anything else you might wanted to talk about your project and that. Yeah, do you have any other projects
Um,
that you're also in the works besides that new kind of jokey punk
yeah,
country folk thing going on?
yeah, there's Truck Nuts, and then there's um well, I guess it's like also like kind of a joke country band, but it's less like
Okay.
it's less like we it's called the Swamp Wompers, and it's like country
Oh, okay, yeah.
like cryptids and ghosts and
Okay,
aliens
yeah.
and stuff. Um we're like slowly working on a new we call them swamp outings. A new
Okay,
swamp out.
cool.
Um and that's much less obnoxious and more like fun and at times kind of like moving or pretty and at times like silly, but uh
Yeah.
definitely that's a good one.
Yeah, and that project is has that project been around longer than you doing Evvy Shark, the Swamp Wompers, or about
Not technically.
okay.
uh, I released I have songs on the Evvy Shark Bandcamp that are from 2016, I believe.
Okay.
um but they were just I just kind of had made it as a like maybe I'll do something with this, maybe not kind of thing. Um
Yeah.
but yeah.
And is there new Evvy Shark in the works that we
Yeah.
can oh, we're looking forward to it. And also I just want to shout out Ishtar Senior Savan for
Yeah.
doing the awesome job of mastering
Yeah.
the Liza Psychic Hotline. Yeah, yeah. And you also have a really lovely voice.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. I just want to say that. Yeah, I
cool.
really, really like it a lot. And yeah, so let's talk a little bit about mutual aid stuff, just because, Grimalkin
Sure.
does that. And um, you were so generous to like donate digital proceeds to Grimalkin, actually. And then I know the physical for the VHS of the visual album and the cassette tape proceeds went to the Black Creatives Redistribution Fund that Woven
Yeah,
organizes. It might be on hiatus right now for a little bit,
I think
but yeah,
it is. Yeah.
yeah. And I guess I just wanted to hear from you in your own words, like why did you choose to support Grimalkin with your release and the Black Creatives Redistribution Fund? And what they do. You can, if you want to let everybody know, or yeah, yeah,
Um, well, I figured like I don't usually like get a whole lot of money when I put stuff out. So anyway, so I was like, well, fuck it. Like I I I've I've always been a like a big uh fan of what Grimalkin does. So I was like, this is like my like small contribution uh to the goings on. Um
yeah.
and yeah, I found well, I met Mariah at the Grimalkin picnic that we had
Oh yeah, yeah.
um I guess that was 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, feels like forever ago. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we were all distancing on the
Yeah.
park, in the park.
A big old circle.
That was fun though. I think that was my literal first outing when the pandemic, into the pandemic there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
humans again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tossed a frisbee around. Uh, but yeah, I met her there and found out she was from Baltimore, which is very close. Um,
Yeah.
so I was like, and I feel like I saw her at some point, um, like saying something about uh, like needing more support or something. I can't
Yeah.
remember, but I was like, well, at the time I was not aware of anything going on in my immediate vicinity. Um,
Yeah.
as far as mutual aid goes, I'm only aware of like one thing that's going on right now, which is like a community fridge. I haven't
Yeah.
been able to find out anything. And when I've asked uh, various people, I always seem to come up blank. But the community fridge is,
Yeah.
and that's
Where's that at? Where
um
again?
in Frederick. There's at this place called Glory Donuts. They have, I guess they just set it up,
That's great.
and that's been kind of cool because they have shows. I haven't been to one, but they have shows at Glory Donuts to like
Oh,
help fund the community fridge, which is pretty cool. But yeah,
yeah.
I wasn't aware of anything going on, and I was like, Mariah's really cool. Like,
Yeah.
feel like that would, you know, be a good help to what she was doing.
Yeah. And
And
she's
yeah,
collecting like money and also equipment to redistribute
yeah,
to Black creatives. So, um,
mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm sure she'll get back into it again. I think she needed to take a little break from it for a while there. Um, but yeah, yeah. And she
Oh yeah,
go ahead. I think oops, you cut out a little. Oh, you're back. Yeah, I was saying how she used to run Cat Body, and I know you played a show there.
no,
No, you didn't? Oh,
I,
I don't know what's happening with the connection right now. I, s- I, I somehow
you
lost
did.
sound. Can you hear me? I I hope I don't
It
have
might
to
be my
stop
mic.
and come back in. Oh, wait. I think you're coming back. It's like I see you, but I can't hear you.
Kind of bad.
You're back. You're back. Oh, back a little bit. I. Is there like a better place in the house you could go in your apartment? This always happens on live Instagram. It's not a. It is not a live Instagram thing. Okay, Eli is suggesting because Eli's suggesting leaving and coming back in. I don't know if that would help. I'm not even sure you can hear me say to like leave and rejoin. Well, hopefully Cherry's able to get back in here. Um, we'll give it a little bit of a minute. Well, in the meantime, if you're if you are tuned in, we were talking to Evvy Shark. Her album Miss Liza's Psychic Hotline is 1 year old as of tomorrow, and later on tonight on our Discord, we're having a listening party. Oh, she's coming back in. She's coming back in. We're having a listening party tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yay, you're back.
Hey.
Okay, yeah, and I can hear you. Yeah, okay, well, that solved it. Thank you, Eli, for the tech troubleshooting. Can
Yeah.
always depend on Eli for help in that regard. Because, like, you leave it to me, I'm not so great. Yeah, we don't have too much more to chat about, but I did want to get your some of your opinions on, so part of what Grimalkin's doing is trying to like create, alternative systems of support for artists, since our current systems are so crap. And this kind of like, I mean, it can be something positive you see going on in your community or in the world going on with music, but usually it's things that we want to see fixed, changed, altered. And I guess like just your views on if you could fix or change one thing, what would it be? And anything you had to say about that in terms of, it can be like your local scene, or it could just be like in general music world or industry or business. Oh no, it's again. I hope I'm not hearing you again.
Um,
Oh, there, I can hear you. Yes. Oh. Hmm.
I oh no.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
having like the same issues again.
Well,
I can
streaming
hear
yada
you now, but
yada yada.
I heard yada yada.
Shakes fist at the sky. Um.
Eli said there's a
Uh.
delay with the sound, but I just heard you there.
I
I can hear you.
well. Okay. Yeah.
So far, so good.
I hope to see more things like Grimalkin kind of pop up. Just like that, like, because it's very much very much a community based focused thing. It's been it's really incredible to like meet the people involved and make friends and support each other
Yeah.
and stuff. That's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, that's awesome to hear that you saying that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I hope to see more of that specific thing happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it
It'd be
does.
great if it inspired other people to do similar things. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's, there's a community around music regardless, but it doesn't, in my experience, hasn't felt so like I said, like supportive and and even not even to just the people who are like releasing music with Grimalkin, but even just like people who are like the Discord. Like the Discord's awesome. Yeah, all kinds
Yeah.
of people there.
Shout out to
Everybody's
Anna
yeah,
for making our Discord for us.
yeah, um, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
like
the
it I think it's grown too to kind of extend to like our listeners and followers and supporters and stuff too. So that's really cool. Yeah, I think over time it's just a long process for us to like gain more resources and funding
yeah,
and support and listeners. But it's slowly been happening, and now that we have our 501c3 nonprofit status, I think that's going to allow for more resources and funding. So
Yeah.
that's a plus.
Yeah, no, that's I've said this a million times. That's such exciting news. Um,
Yeah, yeah. We're already working on. I didn't think we would make it in time to be able to even write a grant, like our first grant, but there's a grant for Richmond, art to support Richmond artists, and we're writing it right now. It's due March 24th, so hopefully that'll be like our first thing, hopefully. But of course, we did
yeah.
get the Trans Justice Funding Project grant, so that's like a big deal. They re-upped us again this year, and it's really going to help us out, like with because they don't have any restrictions on it, so they just kind of let you use the money how you need to, to exist. So we have to do like accounting and all that stuff now. So, but yeah, so we've got Carla again, who's like really amazing. That she's the same person that helped us write the grant, and like yeah, she does a lot of she supports Virginia Anti-Violence Project and Nations Foundation too, and other people. So it's like yeah, she's great and trusted person to help us move
Yeah,
forward. Thank God
good.
we have her. Shout out to CJ Strategic Solutions. um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if you wanted to delve into anything negative as far as what you'd want to see fixed in music, but if not, that's
I
okay too.
I could probably Google this, but what is grant writing?
But I missed what you said. It cut out a little bit.
Yeah, I got nothing to ask what writing grants is. I mean, is it like writing an essay?
No, it's just, they have all these, every different grant has like different questions you have to answer. And, they're looking for
Oh,
very specific kinds of language when you're writing it. And so it's for me to do it on my own would be like, I don't have that experience. But like, I like
right.
basically write it with her. Like, I answer the questions and then she turns it into like, the
Oh,
language and how to format it. But it's like all, it's difficult because a lot of these systems have like where you got to like set up a login and then when you go in, you find out like questions have character limits too. So then you have to like answer the question within, within the like character limits. It is not easy. Let's just say it's not an easy process at all. Um,
wow.
and there are people who do it for a living because of the fact that it's not an easy thing. It's also
Right.
not inexpensive. It's not cheap to hire someone to help you. Like Carl is great because she definitely is like helping us out in that regard in general. Like, whereas
Mhm.
like she hopes to just grow with us, like as we have more money to pay her. So, because
Sure.
honestly, if we didn't have people like that who are either volunteering, I'm going to try to find some volunteer help too, because apparently there are people who will help nonprofits and organizations like ours. Because it could be like $50 an hour, and a grant could take anywhere from 10 to 20 hours to write. So you can imagine, yeah,
Yeah,
it's like you got to spend money to make money, and it's like it's all this
sure.
ridiculous. I mean, I understand why they have so many guidelines, but it's like at the same time, it is a lot of gatekeeping type stuff as far as hoops you have to jump through and language you have to use. Um,
Yeah.
but we definitely don't want to depend on grants and foundational funding. We're definitely trying to like one, build our Patreon, and then two, hopefully now that we're a nonprofit, that people would want to donate just because they not only because they support our mission, but they can get tax credit for it. So we really have to build those things for much further than what they are right now for us to like sustain this work. Because you never want to depend on foundational funding just because it is so restrictive, and it's expensive and difficult process. And it's interesting because like there's groups like the Trans Justice Funding Project who are, to me, above the curve, like as far as ahead of the time in terms of like they understand that organizations have needs and that they're the ones who know best
Right.
how to use the money and have some trust and faith in the folks that they're giving their funds to. But a
Yeah.
lot of foundational funding, it's like these people are who are in charge of it are kind of like, I don't know, really don't they probably don't really even understand the needs of the folks that we're actually like providing services for. And when it's like any kind of government money involved, there's all these like even more restrictions and
Right.
stuff about like what you can use it for. And then on top of that, of course, you got to
Sure.
report on everything to prove how you've used the money after they give it to you. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. So I'm definitely going
Yeah.
to need a lot of
I
help
mean,
because it's almost like it's another full-time job kind of. So it's definitely not
yeah.
something that I could possibly do on my own on top of everything else I've been doing. But, I'm just trying not to get bogged down by that shit and, do what I
Definitely.
can. And so I guess I just turned into like, what could be different about that as too is seriously like, that's not really the music world, but it's like, it is similar in that there's all these systems of gatekeeping set up and kind of
Right.
like these people over here on the hill who are deciding who they can deem worthy to get
Yeah.
the money, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's the same with the music industry. It's like all these systems are fucked up. And you do kind of have to play the game a little bit. So like kind of my view is like, we play the game here and there where we need to, but like at the same time we're playing the game, we're trying to like create some alternative things going on and definitely not rely on playing the game. like, like even
Yeah.
with like music, like music coverage and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I send stuff out to everybody, but like, and it's great if we get covered, but like, so I'm playing the game that way, but at the same time, like, if we were to get any kind of major coverage at some point from some major publication, it's going to be on our terms. And, like, it's not going to be because of, like, whatever compromises and stuff like that. But anyway, to not like, yeah, but like, let's like bring it to something back positive and we can wrap this up.
Sure.
And I just wanted to, wanted to hear from you, just like if you had any parting words of wisdom or hope for the future or advice for musicians that maybe are just trying to get into it, anything like that that you wanted to share.
Um, well, I mean, if you're just getting into it, don't believe the hype. Wait, that doesn't. Never mind. Don't don't spend a lot of money. I guess
God darn it,
is what I'm
you're
trying to
cutting
say.
out, so I I didn't quite catch what you said.
I don't know. Does that make sense? You don't need to have a lot of
I'm sure
money
it
and
made.
stuff
Oh, you.
in music
Oh,
is what I'm gonna guess.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, so your advice is that you don't need to spend a lot of money to get involved. Like you used Audacity, which is free in the
I
beginning.
speaking of
Yes.
tick.
Okay. I think we're having a little connection problems again, but anyway,
Oh,
I really
yeah.
hopefully
Basically,
Discord will
like,
be a little bit better tonight. But yeah, we there's always a problem with live Instagram, but I do really appreciate you coming on and talking to us. I'm excited that your album's a year old already. So for everybody again, tonight on our Discord at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have a listening party and we're going to hang out with Evvy Shark. We're going to listen to her album. I actually also have an album out today called My Way. So and they're both our albums are pretty short, so it's like we're gonna listen to them we're gonna listen to them back to back. We're gonna listen to her album and then mine, and you'll have an opportunity to ask us questions in the chat, and then we can hop on the mic afterwards and answer any questions about that you want to talk to. And we're excited. And if you aren't on our Discord, you just go to our bio. There's a link tree, and there's a link to join. We just recommend you join before 7 o'clock, just because you kind of have to like read the rules and do a little intro before you're let in. But all right. Well, thank you so much, Cherry. I will see you a little bit later tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm sorry for the connection problems too.
Probably my fault.
Okay. I heard that. Okay, well, all right, I'll see you tonight. See you, everyone.
All right. Bye.